What's good, fam? Michael Phoenix coming at you. Today we're gonna speak about different ways of training. You know, different concepts that you can kind of use to help you in your martial journey. You know, some people like to do a lot of physical training, whether it's physical exercise, whether it's sparring or shadow boxing. Some people do road work, running, you know, all those are good, but when you get older, and especially if you're just doing self-defense, you're not competing, you know, you have different methods of training that can actually keep you on a nice level to where you're actually able to perform if anything was to come your way. So, you know, you can do the physical training, you do your forms, you know, you have exercises that you can do physical, calisthenics, weightlifting, whatever. I usually do calisthenics myself. I don't mess with the weights too much. You know, like I say, you have your shadow boxing. I do that every now and then. Then sometimes it's just thought. You know, it's just me sitting back thinking, meditating, me visually seeing myself do these movements. You know, all the time I don't have a partner to train with, so I have to actually visualize a partner in front of me, regardless of what size. I, you know, pick a size. It's like an imagination anyway. I pick a size opponent and I do my movements in front of that opponent. You know, even though there's no opponent there, I'm visualizing it, but that helps. And also just sitting there visualizing and doing nothing. You know, you might just see yourself doing movements, just see yourself performing and you know, actually going over your techniques in your head instead of actually doing movements. So that helps also because it helps you get more of a focus on, you know, what you actually need to do to perform. That way, when it's time for someone to actually be in front of you, you're able to actually do that movement. So don't get caught up in too much of the physical aspect of it. You know, physically, you should be somewhat fit. Try to keep yourself in shape anyway. That way you can move, you can maneuver, you can do what you have to do. But once you get to a certain point, it's not all physical. You have to actually be able to have more concepts and actually be able to sit back and, you know, you can pick up a book and read it. You can study some videos, you can study some movements. You know, you can do your forms. You know, I love doing my forms. I kind of, you know, every time I train, I have to go over my forms, you know. So it's like a lot of people put that stuff away and they don't utilize it anymore, you know, once they get to a certain level. But to me, the forms are very important. Shadow boxing is important. The actual physical fitness is important. And, you know, you have to actually visualize, take some time out to study. You know, it's all the same. It's all training, you know. So don't push yourself too hard thinking that you have to be strong and ready. And, you know, long as you're going over what you know and doing it on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying, you'll stay pretty much in tune to where you can actually do these movements if something was to happen. Because like I say, when you get older, in my age, it's not smart to actually jump in the ring every day and want to spar with somebody every day and, you know, want to exercise real hard every day. You know, that's not logical to do, you know. It's self-defense. It's not actually competition. So you treat it differently. You know, you probably have to work, you know, 40 hours a week. if you have to train hard like you in competition, some of those guys train like 4 or 5 hours a day. If you training like that and then you working like that, you have no time to relax. You put more stress on yourself. So it's best to, take some time out throughout the week to actually get some real training in, physical, going over different forms, going over different concepts. And then you can also think about what you need to do. Take some time out to do that. Take time out to study. Take time out to learn some new things that you can do and actually see yourself utilizing these techniques if you don't have an actual partner to practice with. You can just visualize a partner in front of you and go over those movements as if the partner is coming at you. Or, like I say, you could just go over those movements in your head. But either way, it's all training. So don't just get caught up in the physical aspect of it, because we can't do that all the time, especially the older you get. You can't just get out there and want to work out every day real hard. Some days you gotta have light days. Some days you have to have, a day off of thinking. Meditation is always good. Good meditation. Try some Qigong, Tai Chi. You don't have to just stick to the basic Wing Chun. You can do other forms of meditation, other forms of movements to relax and get you in the groove, and then you can get back into your Wing Chun. Some days I practice boxing. Some days I practice Wing Chun. Some days I just practice on the ground. Some days I just exercise. It just depends on how I'm feeling, So don't think that you have to do something every day in order to keep yourself on the ready. You can just, like I said, meditate. You can just think. Use your mind and visualize, So don't worry about trying to be a competitor. Those guys, they train different. And most of them are a lot younger, than I am. So I'm not about to go that hard trying to act like I'm going to be in the ring fighting in another month or so. That's not, that's not safe for me. It can be like real stressful for a person my age to try to get in that type of shape. So, just take it easy, work on your forms, get you a nice little regimen, make sure you're studying, and you stay in tune. Don't worry about anything else, trying to go too hard. So don't get it misconstrued when I say going hard. Going hard means studying, being up on your game, making sure you're active, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, and the thinking, the exercising, and the actual performing is what you're supposed to be doing. It's all on you. Whatever your goals are, you shoot for that. If you have high expectations in what you're trying to learn, then you'll probably train a little different than somebody else that wants to just learn the basics. So, it's all based on you. It's all about you. You're the only person, when it comes down to it, you're the only person you're competing with anyway. So it's all on you. Get at me.